Hello everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. We're joined once again a couple of weeks after the last episode with the legend John Gibson from the Evening
Nice
Chronicle.
to be here again, my
It's good
friend.
to see you
Nice
again, mate.
to be here,
We're
man.
here at Fleet Street now. We are recording this an hour or so before the West Ham game, so this will go out after that result. Fingers crossed we got 3 points, and more so we didn't get any injuries or suspensions.
Oh, please. That's as big as the result almost. And
It certainly is.
It's got silly.
It's
got silly.
Otherwise we look daft now. Everybody, Isak's went off injured and Tonali's been sent off. We'll look terrible. It looked terrible, but John, we're just talking about off air there. The man himself, Alexander Isak. Tell us about the stat that he could achieve this evening.
Which is quite exceptional. He can become the first player in Newcastle United's history to hit 20 goals in the Premier League in successive seasons. Now that is fabulous. Now I can see people leaping out the woodwork here now and saying, no, you must be Big Al.
Must be Shearer.
It must be Shearer because he's the greatest goal scoring machine of all time. No, it isn't actually, because he's done it 4 times, Shearer, but never successive seasons. There's always been a season in between.
I can't believe that.
Oh, I know, it's quite staggering, isn't it? But I mean, I've been looking into this big time because I'm a huge Isak fan, as I was saying last time I was on here. I'm a massive Shearer fan, isn't everybody? But that's true. Now, barring an injury, which you just mentioned, he's going to do it. He's on 19 before the West Ham game, so he's got bags of games left to make it 20. And it's fabulous. And that is how good this kid is. And I mean, he is top of the pops.
He is.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And he is the reason why, despite everything, despite Gordon and despite Hall and despite Botman and despite our recent form and despite Liverpool's form, I'm still clinging on to a great hope about Wembley, because we've got a better centre forward than they've got.
Yes, that's the spirit we want heading into Wembley on Sunday, John, because it has been obviously a horrendous run of days of bad news after bad news, of injury, after Gordon losing his head. But I've always continued to remain positive and think of your Tonalis and your Brunos and your Isaks are there and they're on it, and we can still win this cup. And Isak is the main one, because if the news did come out that Isak was missing the final, like it did with Gordon and Hall, then it would be like,
that's a different ballgame.
Then it's like, oh, bollocks. Maybe we are knackered.
That's a different
Maybe we are knackered.
It's a Shula instead of, and with respect to the young lad who's good, but I mean, don't do that to me. Please don't do that to me. Also, you see, I mean, Isak is the main man, and he's better than anything they've got at centre forward. Salah's a winger, but he's better than anybody they've got at centre forward. No, better than them. But also, the game, in my humble opinion, will be won and lost in midfield, Matty. And in midfield, we have got 3 top international footballers. We've got 2 Brazilians in the Brazilian squad. Big Joe's back in, Captain Bruno, and Tonali, top man with Italy. Those 3 aren't easy to play against. We've got them to form the basis of our defence, giving us a shield in front of Shaw and Byrne, and is a platform to take us forward to Isak. Don't underestimate that. Now, they're strong in midfield as well. McAllister's the leader of the gang. They're strong in midfield. But so are we. So are we. And let's not forget that. And if those 3 can get a grip of the game, and we've got Joe back, and he's getting a bit of rust out of his limbs through playing a couple of games before the final, he's our enforcer. He'll put it about and he'll win the arm wrestling. And, without a shadow of doubt. Then Bruno loves to get forward. Tonali loves him to do that. And I love Tonali because wherever there's a fire, I know he's there to put it out. And that's what he's good at. So the midfield and Isak, all is not lost. Of course, we're not stupid enough to think that losing our 3 players in playing a side as good as Liverpool isn't a tough ask. Of course it's a tough ask. But it's not an impossible ask, not at all.
No, it definitely isn't. And that midfield, it is one way you look at, and you mentioned McAllister and stuff. I know Szoboszlai has been on a really good run lately.
Yes, he has.
But is there then Liverpool players where you would think, I'd swap him, I'd bring him in for Bruno, I'd bring him in for Tonali? It's very even, isn't it? If not more in our favour.
I wouldn't swap any of my three midfielders. I wouldn't swap Isak. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't swap a couple of others. Somewhere
might swapping Salah for Murphy, maybe. Even though Murphy, big him up, great season he's having.
Yes, he has. But I think Salah might just get the edge there. But yeah, I mean, they've got good players and they're a good side. So what? On my day, we're a good side.
Yeah.
We've beaten Nottingham Forest, or third. Everybody's saying what a wonderful side they are, and at home they're sensational. We've beaten them 3 times, twice at their place. Arsenal, second best side in the country. If you look at the league table, second best side in the country, 3 times. Now, I mean, if we are on blob, we are a good side ourselves. So let them worry about us. And surely, Matty, we wanted more than them. They're looking at the Premier League, they're looking at the European Champions League. We are looking at 70 years of hurt being stopped. We want it more than they want it, surely to goodness.
Do you think that works in our favour though, John, or is it
I know
what
you mean.
I'm hoping it's the same. I'm hoping we think we need this, we want this. Liverpool will be looking at the fixtures this week thinking we've got PSG on Tuesday. Who we got this weekend? Oh yeah, it's Newcastle and the Carabao.
Of course it will.
With us it's been like, who we got this weekend? We know who we've been having for 5 weeks now.
Yes.
All eyes has been on this game. We need this 70 years of hurt to be over. But Liverpool, Premier League's in the bag, Champions League, we'll see how they get on against PSG, but the 1-0 up, you expect them to get through at Anfield.
Yeah.
You think, they're focusing on the bigger trophies, whereas this is our only fish. We've got one fish in the pond.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got many.
So that is a problem. And I think with people like Bruno, who's a very emotional guy.
We are very emotional with Dan Bain.
But with Bruno, I can imagine it getting almost too much from one certain occasion because he's so passionate. And this would be even different to 2 years ago. This is Skipper, for goodness sake.
Exactly,
he'd be the one holding the trophy up. I can imagine it sort of perhaps overwhelming him, and that's why I'm looking for the cold-eyed approach of somebody like Tonali at his shoulder. Just calming it down and keep it. I've done it all of this in Milan. Is naturally much more calm than the passionate flamboyance of Bruno. Just calming it that little bit. The ice cold Swede, Mr. Isak, you've got to be cold and clinical to finish like he finishes. He'll just calm that down. But you're right, one of the problems is that they just wake up on the morning before the game and say, who is it we're playing again? Oh, yeah, it's Newcastle, and then we'll go on to somewhere. Yeah. With us, it's much more passionate. But I tell you where we will win it, on the terraces. I hope we'll win it on the pitch as well.
Absolutely.
We win it on the terraces. But we win it on the terraces every time.
And we do.
Every time.
Because remember, only a few months ago, we should have beat Liverpool at St James Park. That
absolutely.
was our game, and the referees, some dodgy decisions, even at the end on the break. It was a 3-3, but it was a game where we should have and could have won. And I know Wembley, it's a neutral venue, so we know the record at Anfield. We played them 2 weeks ago, didn't get a touch. But, we've got to have that belief, haven't we? Going into this game, we've got to have that.
We have.
That want to make it ours more than Liverpool just thinking, we'll turn up where we've got world-class players, Salah's here, Van Dijk's here, we'll do it.
If you're beaten before you go, don't bother turning up.
No.
You can't be beaten before you go. And you look at Arsenal. When we played Arsenal twice in the semi-final, beat them 4-0 aggregate over 2 games, we absolutely slaughtered them. It was a masterclass. If we produce anything like that again, I'll give you a little bit to encourage you as well along the way. Manchester City, the greatest side of modern times, we should probably say, won the Premier League last season, went to Wembley in the FA Cup final, and their noisy neighbours, Manchester United, took them up, who were rank outsiders. About 10 years earlier, Manchester City went to the final again. Wigan Athletic, already relegated, beat them in the FA Cup final. Leicester won the Premier League title when they had no right whatsoever to do so. Buster Douglas beat up Mike Tyson, little Ruiz, the little Mexican fatty.
Little fat Mexican, beat Joshua.
Chucked up Joshua, who was unbeaten at the time. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that if we win, it will not be a surprise to the rest of the country. They will say, the outsiders won. That's fine. Outsiders do win. I've just given you examples of it. Why can't we join that queue and say, and then we produce this result in the League Cup final?
Exactly, because everyone will be looking at Liverpool as the clear favourites.
Of course they will.
Do you think I think that could help Newcastle?
I think that's better.
There was a bit more. I think there was a bit more pressure from our fan base and the media 2 years ago against Man United.
Yes.
To be honest, because that felt like an even contest, and everyone said, "Oh, Man U, they just played Barcelona in Europe and all that." Ten Hag, is he struggling? I think this year it could benefit us being that bit of an underdog. There's zero expectations.
What Eddie will have done, and I'm sure of this, he'll have built up a siege mentality against the rest of the country. Or they all think we're nobodies. They think we're above West Station. We think we're a big club when we've never won anything for yonks. We think this, we think that. They all think you're not good enough to be in the Champions League. You're not good enough to be in cup finals. Let's show them that we are good enough. That's certainly what I would do, and I'm certain that's what Eddie do. If they can get that band of brothers attitude, then this can be a shock to some. If we get up them early doors, they won't like it. And, you know, they might be thinking, listen, we are going to just about to win the Premier League title and win the Champions League. If these lot are going to go around smacking us at every turn, I don't want to know today. You can have that one.
Yeah.
Let us hope so. Oh, well, I might be, clinging to straws passing in the wind, but hey, I'm a Geordie. I'm going to cling to something. I've never had anything since '69. And before that, I'm the last reporter on the Newcastle United beat that ever reported them on them winning something, because I was there in '69. No other reporter still working, they're retired or they passed away. I'm the last one, and I'm determined to see us win something again. And this is the time to do it, because hey kids, I'm not getting any younger. Give us it now, mate. Give us it now.
We want it now. We need it now. We need to get this monkey off our back, don't we? Get this trophy over the line to give everyone that.
And then off we go.
And then because I think, Man City said at the time when they got taken over, it was that first trophy that leaped them onto the next one, the next one, the leagues, and everything else. But we'll have to finish off on it, and John will have to finish off on a prediction for the final. Well, how will it play out, and will the tune?
We're in the final now, and even if I believed in my heart that we had no chance, and I don't, I would never admit it. I will never go into a final predicting Newcastle will lose. Never, as long as I've got a breath in my body. Newcastle will win. Why? Because I want it so much, and they must want it so much more. So let's be positive. Let's go there on Sunday. Let's do the business. And then let's get the cigars out, because nobody parties like Geordies. If we win, we will still be partying when next season starts.
Me and you will be here with a cigar next week at Fleet Street. I promise you that.
Will I? Cigars, you can get me on
the bottles of champagne, the pints, everything will be here on this table next week.
Spot on, Matty.
If we win this Carabao. Let's hope so. May have been a pleasure. Thanks very much.
Let's hope. God bless.
Cheers, everyone. See you in the next one.